Inspirational, trendy,
Texture.
inclusive, sustainable,
Colorful.
peanut butter. What?
What? Hey, it's Dee. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and back to America, although you all didn't see all that much of Australia yet. Stay tuned till the end to find out more about that and the plans that I have for the next couple of months, because I did film a lot of stuff. Whoops. Anyway, today we're going to talk about Eco Fashion Week. Now, if you follow me on social media, you probably know that I was in a fashion show, a month ago? Yeah, about a month ago, or last month, more so, because there are 2 weeks. So today I'm just going to talk a little bit about that experience and just talk about why I think it's important, show you all some of the behind the scenes of Eco Fashion Week. So Eco Fashion Week is essentially to raise awareness about the dangers of fast fashion and just what we can be doing as consumers and designers to help decrease our waste. As many people know now, fashion is one of the most polluting industries, and that is because fast fashion has people buying all the time, and often people just throw those clothes away, or they'll donate thinking that they're giving to a good cause, but often those donation centers and op shops or thrift stores don't actually use everything that you give them, and it's still thrown away. I actually want to go more into how you can make a bigger impact with your clothes and things like that later, but that's not what this video is about. And so if y'all are interested in that, let me know and I'll definitely do it. But yeah, so the event itself was like really cool. Now I will admit that I was a bit awkward in the actual like rehearsals that we had, and that's more so because a lot of the girls like already knew each other because everyone was from Perth or somewhere in that area. Also, we went to Port Douglas. Of course, they were from Port Douglas, but yeah, I was the only person, well, wasn't the only person from America, but I was the only person who didn't live in Australia. And so that was a bit interesting because I knew nobody there. And I mean, I did get to know a couple of the girls at first, but there wasn't really like a lot of bonding until the actual week of the fashion show. And going into this, I'm not gonna lie, I thought that I was gonna feel a lot more self-conscious about myself just because I was one of the older models, which is weird because I'm only 20 and I was not the oldest model there, which was actually really cool, but a good number of the models were under 18, which makes sense because it's an industry that you get into pretty early. And on top of that, just like seeing like all of these girls with like tiny little figures and like perfect features essentially, just I felt like I was gonna be kind of self-conscious going into that environment, but actually I came out feeling a lot better about myself just because all of the girls there were so nice, and it was just like, and boys, there were boys there too, love you guys. It was just so nice like actually getting to know them and then like feeling like I was part of one of them once the actual week of Fashion Week started, just because everything's like moving at such a fast pace, but you're still getting to spend time with everyone like in between rehearsals and dressings and the actual like shows, stuff like that. Oh, and hair and makeup. But yeah, it was like a really interesting experience because I felt a lot better about like myself and my body like after doing that. And I'm not saying anything like, I know I'm tiny, I'm a small person, I get that, I understand. However, is going into it, I think there was one time when two times that I couldn't fit a piece of clothing because my hips are too wide. I mean, like, I'm only a size 4, or in US, that's a size 10 in Australia. And like, that was probably the only times I was like, dang, that kind of sucks. But at the same time, I was like, I don't know how I would look if I was any smaller. And so I'm very happy with like the skin that words, I can't say words, in the body that I'm in. Even though there was actually only one that I wasn't able to like walk for because of that, I still got to walk for amazing artists such as Nuri Yellow, Pattern by Design, Francesca, Betty Spoke, Junk Weavers, Beads and Pods, and so many other amazing designers. And I could honestly just keep rambling on and on and on and on about that. However, we'd be here for a while, and we don't want that, especially since my camera's dying. Someone forgot to charge it last night. But anyway, yeah, it was really cool. So for the first week of Eco Fashion Week, we went to Port Douglas, which is up near where the Great Barrier Reef is. For people who don't know Australian cities, as I don't. Whoops. And it was really cool. So I got to, they paid for our like accommodation while we were up there because most of us were from Perth. And it was really cool. So I got to stay with another model and then 2 media girls. The other model was really cool. You'll actually hear a little bit from her later on about her experience Eco Fashion Week and why she thinks it's so cool. But she's actually a fashion design student, which is really cool. So I actually got to help her out with some of her designs and stuff like that. And then the 2 media girls were so nice, and I'm gonna leave their social media handles below and in the description bar. Their names were Nat and Kate, and they're really cool, and they both have their own kind of eco pages. So they were really cool, so nice. And they got some of the videos and pictures that you're gonna see a little bit later in this video. The whole event was like, of course it was like an international fashion show, and like we had a lot of stuff to do, but it was just very like laid back and just fun to be there for the most part. And while there were some issues with like the actual like crew and stuff, like it wasn't any major things that like couldn't be overcome, and that's gonna happen with any sort of event that you're doing like that. The stakes are high, the pressure's high, everyone's super stressed out, and so it's to be expected, right? But for the most part, everyone was really chill, and we were dancing around and watching movies and just honestly just being kids, because being around high schoolers for that amount of time was really interesting. I mean, I do it sometimes just because I do like to mentor, but like literally just being with them every day for 2 weeks was really interesting. And it's really funny because apparently I have more energy than some 14-year-olds. It's fine. I'm doing fine. What else do I want to say about the event? Yeah, I just really think that it helped to raise awareness about the fashion industry and just the fact that you can turn things that people traditionally see as trash and junk into something amazing that looks just absolutely gorgeous. People want to wear, like, look at these pieces, guys. Like, they're phenomenal. There's nothing else that I could say about them. Like, they're just amazing. And this one group that I walked for was called Junk Weavers. They literally weave bags and jewelry out of things like chip bags and candy wrappers and stuff like that, and it's so cool, and it comes out amazing. And yeah, and then another lady, Beads and Pods, she literally makes jewelry out of coffee pods, like the little like metal coffee pods. So cool. And like her stuff was amazing. Like we literally looked like goddesses going down the runway, and it was amazing. And yeah, there were just so many cool things about that. And also they tried their best to incorporate as many different body types and ages as possible, just because the fashion industry, you do kind of see just like the one like age range and body type depicted, and they're also trying to like break that narrative. Now clearly it isn't as easy said as done, just because it does come a lot down to education. And if you all watch anything like Project Runway. Yeah, if you watch anything like Project Runway, they actually don't teach like a lot of design students how to fit for a normal woman. And I'm just like, that doesn't make any sense. Everyone's not like a size 0. I'm not saying that they're not normal women either. These are literally like the words that I've heard like designers on Project Runway describe, or even like some designers at the actual event were like, oh yeah, we love that you have like curves and like you're not a twig. And I'm like, I'm still pretty small. Like I'm a size 4. And I can fit a size 2. I'm still pretty small. But yeah, so I do think that's still like something that needs to change. But for the most part, like they're really trying to break as many stereotypes with like society and society, body types, environmental issues, the fashion industry as possible. And I think that they are on their way. Definitely not perfect, and there's still a lot of work to do, but that's the reason why they're doing this work. And that's why I think it's so amazing. And here are a couple of other people's thoughts on the event.
I'm Angie Ayres, and I've been the MC and the ambassador for Eco Fashion Week Australia 2018. And I just think that this event has brought together so many incredible minds from the environmental side of things, from the fashionista side of things. I think what we've presented here on the stages through the modeling choices, the diversity, the hair products, the makeup, the designers themselves, the way that they can create value from items that people have dismissed as trash and make them desirable and valuable and sexy, I think is the most powerful shift we can make in the mentality that we need to change people's minds. I've talked a bit about making connections over the past couple of weeks, and it's about making a connection to the people who make our clothes, the materials they come from, and the reasons why we need to change not only the goalpost to measure our success or happiness, but we need to change the whole game. The people that have got us into this environmental mess from a fashion angle, they know that they're doing the wrong thing. They know that using slavery is wrong. They know that poisoning an entire freshwater source of a village is wrong, and they're not doing any better. So it's time to retire the dinosaurs of the industry, just like the whaling industry died, and it's time to really embrace the eco revolution and time to start shopping local for real.
So yeah, guys, I hope that you all enjoyed this little spiel and behind the scenes of Eco Fashion Week Australia. I had an amazing time there, and just, it was really cool because I've wanted to model for a long time, and so this opportunity just kind of presented itself. I was like, let's do it. And that's one of the things you have to do, guys. If you get an opportunity, just go for it, even if it seems scary. It'll be fine. But anyway, so I told you at the beginning of the video, I don't know why I'm doing this, but we're gonna keep doing it. But yeah, at the beginning of the video that I was gonna tell you all about some of the plans that I have. So I literally have, hold up, let me look, because I have a whole thing. So I have about 11, 12 videos that about study abroad in Australia that I haven't posted and that are being edited as we speak or as you watch. And so what the plan is to do a sort of throwback Thursday kind of thing. I actually got this idea from Leah X. I don't know if you all follow her, but she's doing something similar, but not for the exact same reasons. My goal is that on Thursdays, I'll post something about study abroad or Australia, and then on Sundays, Yeah, I think Sundays. Sundays I'm gonna try and post something else, and then every once in a while you'll all get a video on Tuesday because I have a lot of videos that won't be relevant if I post them any later, and I apologize for that. So you will be getting 2 to 3 videos a week for a while, and I want to try and finish it. Well, I wanted to try and finish it by like the middle of February because that's when people who would be going to study in Australia for the for their first term, but for our second term would be there, and so this would give them a chance to like actually like watch all of this stuff and like see what they have to look forward to, and also give people who are trying to study abroad next fall an idea of what they could do if they choose to apply to Australia, and they will be needing to like put through those submissions like in Marchish, so I feel like that's a good timeline. However, I have a lot of stuff to do, so that's the plan for the next couple of months, and I hope you all enjoy that. But anyway, guys, I have to go edit those videos now, so I'll talk to you later. Bye.